Hey everybody, my name is Dylan Patey, and this is my 1994 Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4. Hey everybody, today I'm working on refurbishing and painting my valve covers, oil pan, my intake manifold for my 3000 GT VR4. I really did not like how this looks. It's dirty, it's got a weird texture to it, and in a freshly built car with a freshly built engine, I want it to look really pretty. So I'm going to sand down all of this texture, get it really nice and clean. And I'm gonna make it look more like this, you know, before paint, of course. It's all just nice and clean and everything. Like I got the oil pan all scuffed up, all the rust taken care of. Everything I need to do to paint, I'm gonna make sure my engine stands out, and it's gonna be pretty. So stick around. It's pretty cool. Alright, so I got these to just about as best as I could get it with what I've got. I had to take this little vibrating triangle sander to try to get in everywhere, but for the most part it is smooth and shiny and ready for paint. Alright everybody, we've got the parts all sanded, so now I'm going to take some denatured alcohol and I'm just going to douse them. I gotta clean them up, make sure that paint really sticks because I do not want it flaking off at all. So once we clean it, then we'll mask it and then we'll paint it. Let's do it. All right, so my engine has 170 something thousand miles. When I took the valve cover off, it was powder coated, this cheap looking black powder coat that was flaking off all over the place. Obviously sanded all down as much as I could, but I also took it to our parts cleaner tank full of solvent and just cleaned out all of this. I'll throw up some pictures of a before and after, but man, it is so much better. I'm just really excited for these. So this is my rear valve cover. As you can see, there's not really anything on it, and that's because the intake plenum actually covers most of it. So I could actually completely get away with not painting this at all, but I want them both to match. And I mean, I want to enter this car into some contests, and I want to try to win some awards, so I'm going to go ahead and paint it anyways. Now, as for my oil pan, black oil pans are typical, they're common, standard, and I want to be different. Although you're most likely never going to see it, I want it to look good, and I want it to stand out, you know, if I ever show somebody my oil pan. So I want my oil pan to look really nice. Oh, but Dylan, you have so much excess hanging off the side. I have a plan for that. Take the razor blade and cut. Bada bing, bada boom. You got yourself a nice clean tape line. All right, everybody, everything is masked off and wiped down. It's all clean. It's completely ready to be painted. So I've got high temperature primer, colors, and clear coat. I'm gonna paint the oil pan silver, the valve covers this burnt orange, which I'm really excited about. And then I'll paint the intake manifold black. Now the lettering on the intake manifold and the valve covers, I'll sand back down and then hand paint silver to really make those letters pop. I'm super excited. So without any further ado, let's shake up some cans and start painting.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Goodbye, ugly silver. Here we go with the burnt copper. I have no idea what this is gonna look like. Oh, yes. Oh, that looks so good. I am extremely happy with this. I was just in the AutoZone and I saw this color. I was like, ooh, that could look good. I had no idea it was going to be this beautiful. That's one coat and they look so good. All right, well, I'll bring you back when I'm done. I've got the second coat on them.
Okay, these turned out absolutely amazing. It's 2 coats of that burnt copper and then 1 coat of clear gloss, and I am just absolutely blown away. All right, now onto the valve cover, which will be black. I'm gonna start with the bottom side and get its coats on first, because when I flip it over, it'll rest on this taped up area and just this one point up here. So I'll get the black on this bottom half first, and then I'll flip it over, and then I'll be able to get a nice, perfect coat of paint on the front side that stands out for everyone to see.
Oh, baby. It's gonna look so good against that burnt orange. All right, everybody, got my cast aluminum silver. Let's paint this oil pan. Can't really see much on camera, but it is definitely turning it a very pretty silver. It's really hard to see a difference on camera, but get up real close. There's actually some shine and sparkle to it.
And here it is with the gloss coat. All right, everybody. I could not be happier. It's the next day. I've given time for all this paint and clear coat to cure and everything, and they look amazing. I'm so happy with how these have turned out. When I painted the valve covers, I did end up with a little bit left of this burnt copper. So instead of silver being the lettering, I'm gonna make this lettering right here on the intake manifold the burnt copper, and I'll make this one the black so that they kind of switch and match, and I think it'll be really cool. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take some really fine sandpaper, stick it on a hard sanding block to make sure it stays nice and flat, and I'm going to sand these down a little bit so that I can take these little fine brushes that I got from a hobby store down the road, and I'll just hand paint on these colors, and I think it's gonna look so good. so let's get some sandpaper, a block, and let's paint these letters. Okay, all the letters are scuffed up and wiped down with alcohol. So we can go ahead and take our paint, spray it in the cups, paint these letters. And then after we paint it, we'll go ahead and spray one more layer of clear coat. All right, so unfortunately the burnt copper isn't gonna work. I think it's something in the metallic of the paint, so it just doesn't want to brush on. It keeps pulling through silver or the black. I don't know what it is. So I've wiped it all off. So that's not gonna work. So that's kind of sucks. So I'm going to run to AutoZone and see if I can't find an orange that isn't metallic and see if I can make that work. Man. All right, got my orange. That looks a lot more red on camera. But let's give this a try and see if it turns out good. All right, here's how it's gonna look. I kind of like it. I mean, the orange is going to match the exterior paint of the car, so that'll go with something, so it won't be so awkward later. But I like it. I actually like it. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It's all I've got for you this week. If you liked watching this, I've got a long list and I'll be filming a lot. So if you want to see more, make sure you hit subscribe, comment, let me know what you like to see, what you want to see. Now I will see you in the next one.